Nothing quite like watching the Googans take a sunset cruise, just like some of the other cruises we're gonna witness them take on this week's episode of Googans of the Week. Now sometimes the Googans will come cruising in a little too fast.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No way. He just ran through the whole no way cone. Oh, he got him. He got him. Yeah.
Now, of course, sometimes we'll catch the Googans moving a little too fast, and other times they'll be moving too slow for us.
Literally sitting in the ramp, walking me, setting his boat up, putting ice in the cooler, drinks, snacks, talking to his wife. Like, bro, dude, come on, this is not the place.
And then, of course, there are those times you'll find the Googans in your way, and sometimes you'll have to find your way around them, or maybe just find your way through them like this guy did. And then, of course, we've got the old Googans down at the boat ramp. Always a fun time, but our Googan here winds up in double trouble. He winds up backing the boat up a little bit. All of a sudden, it winds up rolling off the trailer. So he jumps out of his truck and tries to jump into action to save the boat. But all while doing so, as you can tell, he forgets to put the truck into park. So now we've got the boat in the water, the truck in the water. If you look up by the dock, it looks like our Googan guy is in the water as well. So I know I initially said this was double trouble, but this is actually more like the boat ramp triple threat, as our guy's back on the dock trying to save it now, but it's a little too late. I gotta imagine that truck's taking a dive. And speaking of taking a dive, our next Googan's doing just that.
Look at it. And easy. Easy. See you later, Coop. Someone help him. He's out. He's gone. I told you to concentrate. Oi, watch your work.
Now, it looks like our Googan here wound up taking a dive a little earlier on in the clip, but that's a whole lot better than what our next Googan faces, as he winds up facing a fish who decides to try and go trouser diving on him. And then, of course, we've got our next Googan crew who will wind up nose diving the boat, and of course that means they're going to follow them in and dive in the water. Now, I've heard of all-wheel drive vehicles, but this is definitely the first time I've ever seen an all-wheel drive boat, as they're using the stern and power from the bow to try and get out of this mess. While nobody winds up diving in on this one, our next Googan goes ahead and makes up for that fact. While nobody winds up in the water in this clip, I have to imagine at some point in time, this contraption winds up going under. Let me know in the comments below, how much you think this costs to make? And speaking of going under, I've seen trailers go under cars, I've seen trailers go over cars. This is one of the only times I've seen a trailer actually go through the car. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Googans of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Adam Coolidge, Amigo de Pesca, Andre Mora, Bob Remax, Cam Foils, Captain Saint-Tha, Captain Merrick, Captain Goggles, and Captain Arvarine did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.